Yogi Berra once said that it's hard to make predictions, especially about the future. But hey, that's what we're going to do today. I'm here with your 2025 housing and mortgage rate forecast. So, hey, let's get into it. First of all, the year started off crazy. So, 2 Fridays ago, we had the jobs report, 96,000 higher than expected. And we saw rates tick up to the highs of April of 2024, which was the highest rates that we've seen in over a year. Then just this last week on Wednesday, we had a consumer price index a little bit less than expected. On Thursday, retail sales were a little bit less than expected, and all those interest rate increases were instantly wiped out. So we are potentially in for a ride this year, but hey, we're in for a ride every year. Although I do believe rates have a chance to tick down quite a bit. First of all, let's talk about the housing market. So we are underbuilding homes in America. We need about 1.9 million homes a year in order to keep up with the amount of household formations that are happening every year. And we're only building about 1.3 million houses. So that says we still have an undersupply of houses, and we're not going to see home prices go down. I think you're going to see somewhere around 4 to 5% increase in home prices this year, which is a nice, healthy pace that is sustainable and still makes home prices relatively in line with inflation and wage growth and how things happen there. The other thing that we need to look at, like the best predictor of the future, is looking at the past. So demographics is destiny when you look at these things. So if we look at millennials, so millennials are 28 to 43 years old. 45% of millennials currently own a house. If you're over 40 and a millennial, 55% do. And at the age of 30, 33% of millennials own houses. Now, you have Gen Z, it's coming on the market. 61 million Gen Zers. That's age 12 to 27. Now, 8% of Gen Zers currently own a house, but obviously, if you're 13, you're probably not buying a house yet. So, there are a lot more houses that are still going to be in demand and a lot more household formations that we are going to see in the future. Okay, so now let's have it. You want to know about interest rates? As I mentioned, we saw last week the unemployment rate actually dip. It went from 4.2% to 4.1%. That was not expected. We also did not expect 96,000 more jobs to be created than the estimates. I'm going to tell you, that jobs number was a little bit perplexing to me because there's a lot of layoffs happening. Not just layoffs, but store closings. When you look at companies like Macy's, Walmart, CVS, I know Macy's had 81 stores closed last year. Walgreens, CVS, they're in the hundreds. There's lots of companies that they're not just laying off people, they're shutting down stores. So it'll be interesting to see how that all translates into the jobs reports coming forward. Now, if the jobs numbers are less than expected, interest rates will get better. If the jobs numbers are higher than expected, like we saw on Friday, interest rates go up. But again, that's counterbalanced by things like we saw this week, lighter than expected retail sales, lower than expected inflation. Now, the Fed shift their focus last year from really worrying about jobs to inflation. But when you have blowout numbers of 100,000, that is going to affect the market. Now, I think with all of the closings that we're seeing of stores, I think you're going to see the unemployment rate hit 4.5%, maybe 4.6% this year. If it does, we're not going to have super low interest rates, but I think you're going to see rates trend back down towards that low 6% range, maybe hit fives on certain days, high fives on certain days. And I think that you're going to see a big uptick in housing as we saw in Q3 of last year when we saw rates around that 6% mark. The amount of people entering the market and the amount of people selling really increased at that time. Hey, listen, you know me, I'm Sean Zalmanoff. I'm here to serve you. If you got any questions, please reach out. And if you made it to this part in the video, hey, reply to my email that I sent to you and give me a thumbs up or tell me what you thought or just let me know you watched this far. Peace out.